Gray horse ran really good. I thought he just didn't go. It's like at the beginning he broke. Like he didn't broke. Joe didn't do anything wrong. And like he broke and like he just didn't go. Like he didn't stumble. He just wasn't that fast. And then I thought he did a good job by not getting stupid, tucking in.
Yes.
The race was over really for him at that point.
My only critique would be once you know you're kind of dead, why tip 7, 8 wide?
Yeah, no,
like,
he was.
Take a shot at something that
up the
opens up the
Well,
rear.
you know what? When they turned up the backside, they showed the head on for a second, and there was a path. Like
Yeah,
I
know.
I do get it. Like you got to navigate through 13 motherfuckers.
That's right.
I mean, like
That's right.
I don't know.
I get it. We wait for starter.
I thought he was here.
You thought it was here. We can start. He'll just jump up.
Yeah, let's.
Ladies and gentlemen, the winner of the Breeders Cup Juvenile Fillies was British Idiom, and we're very pleased right now to be joined by one of the winning owners, Saul Cumin, as well as winning trainer Brad Cox. Congratulations to you both.
Stu, baby. We got Stuart Grant coming in. Coming in
And here
hot.
comes
Stu!
Stuart Grant of the Elkstone Group. Brad, let's start with you. Congratulations. Just your impression of the way that British Idiom had to run this race and be challenged a few times. Just talk about how it unfolded.
Yeah, it was an exciting race, obviously, but she got bumped around a little bit. Looked like going into the first turn. Up the backside, I thought she might have been struggling with the track a little bit. I looked up, I saw it was 22 and 3 the opening quarter, and maybe a little bit further off of it than I thought. But going that fast, we're in good hands with Javier. He just kept her busy the whole way up the backside, and he thought at the 3/8 pole when he kind of tipped her out. He said he gradually started picking up. He thought he had a big shot to win the race. So it was exciting. I was glad she was able to get there. And Philly ran second, ran a tremendous race, second race of her career to run that well, and to be up front and do a lot of dirty work. She's a very special filly, and British Idiom, she had to fight to get by her. I was very proud of her.
Very good. Now, one of the stories with this filly will, of course, be that she was purchased for only $40,000. This really is for any of you that want to take it, but just talk about how you ended up partners in this horse and the job that Liz did picking her out.
Sure, can we start? Yeah, sure. Liz has been buying horses for us for the last bunch of years. Stuart, Mike Dove, Mike Caruso, and I have been partners on lots and lots of horses. We've got a great relationship, great partnership, and we've had some really good success together. We're pretty tight with our budget generally when we're buying horses, and Liz has been able to do just a tremendous job with not unlimited funds, and to be able to buy this filly today after Monomoy Girl not that long ago is tremendous, and just she's just extremely talented, and we're happy she's on our team.
Brad, there was a story that Evan Hammonds wrote that I was checking out that you mentioned that you saw her at one point walk by you and said, "She looks like Monomoy Girl." Can you just tell us what those comparisons were, what you found striking that made you say that?
Honestly, I don't remember saying it. Liz.
It's a great story for today, though, so let's go with it.
Yeah, I'm going to run with it. We were at Paul Sharp's farm in August, saw some buddies, and me, Liz, and I think Blake, my son, was with me as well. And we watched several three-year-olds train one morning, and they said I made that comment. So, like you said, I'm going to stick with it. Sounds good. But now she's, they do have some similarities as far as their mindset. Like in the paddock, they're very quiet fillies, take it all in. But, when they get on the track, they kind of, this filly was a little more on her toes today as opposed to her first two starts. She was really quiet at Saratoga and Keeneland. You kind of wondered, like, is she okay? And Javier's taken her away all three races and warmed her up well, and she responds to that. So, but I think that's the one similarity with the two fillies. Well, obviously they're the same color, but she's just her mind. She's got a very good mind, knows when to turn it on and off. Monomoy was just like that.
I think what Brad also said was that he was having a flashback to Monomoy Girl, and then we realized this is flashbacks only. Yeah, that's right. So.
Questions? Yes, sir.
Brad, what are the challenges of coming out here, first of all, and dealing with this, everything you have to deal with when you make a trip like this? And how much do you think this horse's experience at this distance translated to today?
Well, she handled everything really well. She obviously it was the first time she'd ever been put on a plane, but when we took her to Saratoga, her last work was at Churchill from the gate, and I can't remember the exact number of days, but leading up to that first race at Churchill, we felt or first race at Saratoga, we felt pretty confident with her, just based off that last gate work, that she'd be able to that she'd perform well as long as she took to the track at Saratoga. She did, and then obviously the race at Keeneland, she shipped in the day before the race. We schooled her. She went to the track. She did train at Keeneland early in her career as a 2-year-old, and then was transferred to Ellis, then Churchill, and then on to Saratoga. But she, that's one thing with our 2-year-old program. We put horses different places. I'm not as scared to ship a horse, put them on a plane, put them on a van, whatever. Good horses overcome a lot, and she's obviously a good horse. And she's like I said. I mean, this filly that's trained at Keeneland, Ellis, Churchill, shipped to Saratoga, back to Churchill, shipped to Keeneland, then on a plane to California. So I mean, we put these 2-year-olds through a lot. We want to put them through a lot in order to build a tough horse mentally and physically. So I didn't think it would be an issue at all as far as coming out here.
Brad, not to make you look ahead immediately after a big win, but it always does come up in these press conferences. Looking ahead to the spring and the Kentucky Oaks, what would be the route that you might want to take to get there?
We'll talk it over with the team. I mean, obviously the Fairgrounds has produced a lot of Kentucky Oaks winners in the last few years, and it's a great surface. I mean, I think it'll be a similar campaign to what we did with Monomoy Girl, but once again, we'll talk it over with the group and put a game plan together. And she'll get a chance to, relax a little bit after this for sure, and come up with a game plan for 2020.
Yes, sir.
You mentioned how impressed you were with Donna Veloce, and when you saw it was going to be just those two, were you surprised that it was as close as it was, considering it was, as you said, really a new experience for her?
Well, I mean, when we finally got by her, I thought we were going to put her away, and we didn't. So, she battled back. So, I was super impressed with her, with Donna Veloce, and she's got a big future ahead of her.
Evan.
Just quickly, could you explain the name and how that came about, Stuart?
Sure. Well, everybody loves a good British idiom, don't they? And so we have friends, particularly some English ones, and they seem to talk in constant British idiom. And I could bang on for donkey's years, but that would just prove my point that everybody loves a good British idiom.
Danny.
Hey, Brad, you talked about building blocks and getting your horses ready. How good is it to know that she can be looked in the eye and still respond the way she did, because it was a battle in the stretch?
Yeah, I mean, it gives you confidence moving forward, because it won't be hopefully it's not the last time that she's, we're in that position. So, no, she's 3 for 3. She's done nothing wrong, and taking her show on the road every time. So, she's a tremendous filly, and, hopefully we can, like I said, give her a little break and get her ready for 2020.
Any other questions? All right, thanks for joining us, gentlemen. Congratulations again. The third straight undefeated winner on the afternoon. British Idiom takes the Breeders' Cup Juvenile Fillies.
With all the juveniles, so everyone's undefeated.
Yes, your Breeders' Cup escort will be up shortly to take you over to the champagne toast.